Hi, my name is Mary Kelly, and my presentation is about Colombia. Making the case, Colombia proves that real estate is global. The hypothesis of this research study is that the real estate as an international commodity is still in its infancy. International buyers will continue to buy real estate in the United States well into the 21st century. Colombia, in particular, will be the home country from where a large percentage of international buyers of the United States real estate properties come, and there will be an increase in U.S. citizens buying properties in Colombia in future years. For the following reasons, this research study is limited to the study of the globalization of real estate to the trends of international buying and selling of real estate properties located in the United States, with an emphasis on Florida properties by residents of the County of Columbia, and international buying and selling of real estate properties located in Colombia by residents of the United States, with an emphasis on Florida buyers and sellers of Colombian properties. Some statistics that we might want to look at. Approximately 25% of international home buyers of United States real estate buy in Florida. Statewide, most of Florida's international buyers come from Latin America, with its smaller country of Colombia bringing in the third highest percentage of buyers to Florida, led only by the larger neighboring South American countries of Venezuela, which is in first place, and Brazil, which is in second place. Approximately 50% of all international buyers of Florida real estate buy in South Florida, with 36% of the 50% buying in Miami and Miami Beach, and 14% of the 50% buying in Miami's neighboring city of Fort Lauderdale. At present, residents of Colombia make it the top foreign country searching South Florida real estate listings. Between July 2014 and June 2015, there was a significant increase in international sales of Florida properties from Latin America countries, wherein the country of Colombia is located, and a significant decrease in sales from Canada and Europe. Florida is the most popular state in the United States with international home buyers, and Florida has historically led the nation as a predictor of what is to come in the real estate market. In 2004 through 2006, investors were buying, selling, and driving real estate prices up in Florida, which had a ripple effect on prices throughout much of the United States of America. And when the bubble burst in the real estate market in 2007-2008 in Florida, so did it follow in many other states in the United States of America. So, why limit the study to just one country and use Florida's international real estate transactions, and in particular the Miami area, as a representation of what is happening throughout the United States? Colombia was chosen because the country is currently the most active in Miami. Also, Florida was chosen because it is where the writer lives and works, and because Florida will always be the leader of most other states in the United States in the real estate market. Real estate has always been considered to be a local market. According to Jeffrey Dwyer, he said that in 2012. and that it was no longer just a local market. According to Dwyer, real estate has entered the international marketplace. Globalization of real estate had its beginnings in the 1950s when Hilton hotels built around the world in major cities such as London, Paris, Athens, and Tokyo. Today, real estate investment trusts have become very popular with foreign investors, which is somewhat like investing in global international companies like IBM, Toyota, Philips, or Citibank. Builders, brokerage firms, consulting firms, real estate finance firms, and investors all had extended their area of operations beyond local markets to the world base by the 1990s. Along that time, mobile populations began to go global, forming alliances with companies throughout the globe and to provide relocation services to residential markets. Fast forward to 2008. Miami's biggest source of new business was the formation of alliances, which at that time were primarily formed with international agents when the Realtors Association hosted networking events with countries like Russia, Paris, Madrid, and Moscow. So everybody was all working together. Fast forward to 2016. Who would have ever dreamed that real estate could ever really enter the global marketplace? It has, though. How, one might ask. One reason is the European Union and the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development encouraged removal of foreign ownership restrictions in many countries, which has made it easier for international buyers to invest in foreign real estate markets. According to the Housing Price Indices 2009 on page 5. Even local real estate prices are no longer only dependent on the local market. Prices are now the result of the global economy. For example, real estate price declines that began in 2009 were mostly the result of the recession in foreign countries of would-be buyers. Along the same time, the drop in prices of vacation homes and in tourist markets had been much inflated by foreign investors prior to 2009, suffered 50 to 75% drops in the price because of the world recession. To develop and design an effective real estate company's global mobility program, the first step is to learn about the country. And here I say learn about Colombia because that is the country that I have picked in order to hypothesize to go into with a real estate company. And I previously said the reason I chose Colombia was because right now that is where most of the international buyers are coming from in the Miami area in Florida. Miami being the biggest area where international customers are coming from, and Florida having the most international buyers of any place in the whole United States. So that's the reason for choosing Colombia. A little bit of statistics go into this. To effectively and properly conduct a business in any country, step one, I have said, is to learn about the foreign country's cultural complexities. That's according to Levine, 2016, location 2658 on the Kindle. It's a Kindle book. Development and design of the U.S.-based international real estate company's global mobility program should include both inbound and outbound activities. However, our primary focus shall be First, development, design, and implementation of a healthy inbound global mobility program. Once the inbound global mobility program is successfully implemented, we will roll out our outbound global mobility program. And when I say this, I'm hypothesizing that I have a real estate company, which actually I do have a real estate company, and maybe we would be doing this. We, like I said, we have selected Colombia as the first country with which we are considering expansion into the international business relationship. Per guidance given by Levine, 2016, we still must examine an analysis of current and historic economic and cultural characteristics of the country, including a risk and return analysis, and potential exit strategies if that becomes necessary before moving forward. We will follow the instruction of Levine to learn as much as we can about Colombia, which shall include the country's issues as to currency stability and conversions, cultural aspects, rights and legality to do business there, political stability, economic stability. Other information that we will also collect about the country is based on Levine's advice before making our final decision to actually move forward and enter into business relationship in our proposed country, which includes the literacy level of the population, the general age of the population, and the languages spoken by the people. As Levine documents, when researching a country, we will study the following items, all of them listed here: geography and environmental issues, history and overview, people and population number, economy, currency, government and the legal system, transportation, communications, GDP, per capita and real growth rate, real property issues, real estate trends, cultural issues, possible exit strategies, and the initial contingency. The real estate company's global mobility program, step number 2, after we've made all of those, we've just said, okay, we're going to go with Colombia. We've studied the company. We're going to go with it. Well, now is time to define the program and implement it. The traditional global career required in the past at least some expatriation, repatriation, recycling out of the country and return to the country activities. That's a definition from our textbook. But our company, we can interact with real estate customers and form alliances with local real estate brokerages residing in Colombia virtually via the internet and telephone technologies. We do not actually need to be going there. It's possible that we can, and we might we will allow that and call that flex patriots if those people choose to do so, but it's not required. Once it's not required to virtually to interact. However, we envision most of our employees opting to work globally in the virtual environment, either from their office spaces or from their homes. And we're considering virtual work equals global work. In the short term, though, we are going to pursue our option to form alliances and relationships with sales personnel working with established real estate companies in Colombia. Another way that we could do it is we could be looking at going into finding real estate agents that are in Colombia, licensed real estate agents in Colombia who might want to become Florida licensed real estate agents, because in the state of Florida, you do not have to be a resident of the United States in order to get a real estate license here. It just has to go through the proper documentation with the state of Florida, and the person has to pass a test, and they have to know in Tallahassee, our capital, how to find the people in case they need to. But somebody can be licensed and not be living in the country. In the state of Florida, it's different in every single state. So now I want to talk about the schedule for global assignments. And we need to remember that our global mobility program will not require any of our real estate personnel, including management, staff, and sales personnel to physically move to the country. They can travel there temporarily if people want to, but it's not required that anybody actually live in Colombia. Everything will be done remotely via the internet and telephone technologies. Once it is decided we're going to move forward with our proposal, this is when we go into this schedule of global assignments. And we're looking at, on the screen, resources and educational opportunities, because that's a big part of going global. The first thing we will be doing is employees, staff, and independent contractors working with the company will need to be polled to find out if anyone wants to be based out of Colombia for a period of time over 1 month. Spending physical time in Colombia, like I said, is not a requirement for a job in our company. The next thing, employees, staff, and independent contractors working with the company will be polled to find out if anyone wants to take exploratory trips to Colombia for a period of time less than 1 month. Spending physical time in Colombia, again, is not a requirement, even on a short trip. The third thing in our schedule, employees and staff will be required to take at least 25 hours of training on global real estate transactions abroad taught by our IHR staff before we actually go global. In addition to the required global real estate transactions training that all employees must take, the newly formed IHR division will be supporting all employees in one-on-one and group sessions specific to the job functions of the individual employees. All employees should review the following reports so you will know the impact that the international buyers are having on the real estate market in Florida. And if you're looking at the screen, all of those resources that are required for you to look at are over on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, it says educational opportunities. They offer a Master of Science degree at international real estate. It's all online. It's out of Florida International University, which happens to be in Miami, a perfect place for this degree to be, since there's a lot of international people buying in Miami. And the other opportunity is we're a real estate company, and if you're a realtor, you can get certified. This is a national certification, so even if you move to another state in the United States, it goes with you as long as you maintain your membership in this organization that sponsors this. But there is a certification that I personally am going to get myself that is... it certifies me, and it would certify you to be a certified international property specialist. And it talks a little bit about here about what that's all about. And anyway, what the company will do is because the more our employees know about international real estate transactions, the better we will be at servicing that market. Therefore, our company will pay for any of the courses leading to the following credentials, those credentials that you see up there on the right-hand side, for any employee who has been employed with the company for at least 1 year and will sign a contract committing to stay with the company for at least 5 years after completion of the last course leading to the credential. So now I want to talk to you about tips for adjusting to the Colombian cultures. You see on the screen resources, and the reason for that is going to be explained here. When the subject of Colombian culture comes up in conversation, it is often negative. We hear about drugs and we hear about danger. Based on my research, this is not really the story of Colombia. I'd like for you to check out these sites to gain an understanding of the Colombia culture, and that will give you an understanding for what to do when in Colombia, which will be better than any tips I can give you for adjusting to this country to which I have not yet traveled. So anyway, if you look at these sites, you will get a good flavor for what Colombia happens to be all about. Other resources are listed here, and they give you more these sources are sources that are more real estate oriented, and particularly to the country, where it says international real estate sales and services in Colombia, South America. Those are sources that I personally checked out myself that give you information into the actual real estate down in Colombia, which there are people in the United States buying in Colombia. And one of the other sources on the previous slide that you could look at are about cultures in Colombia where you that talk about where you might even want to retire, because some people are moving down there to retire. So as far as our company, there will be no travel back and forth from Colombia to Florida on except on a volunteer basis only. As mentioned in the development and design phase of our real estate company's global mobility program, we will be operating globally via the internet and telephone technologies, which includes multiple mediums, web conferencing, email, chat rooms, video training sessions, and all management, staff, and sales associates will be given volunteer opportunities to be flex patriots if they so choose to do so. And additionally, none of our Florida personnel will be working at a site in Colombia longer than 1 month, so there will be no need for spelled out expatriation or repatriation to Colombia for re-entry into the society in the U.S. This does not mean that you do not need to know about Colombia and its magnificent culture. To learn more and to help you in your virtual work in Colombia, sources of information are listed here, and that's what you see on the screen. In conclusion, I would like to refer you to a copy of the text of this preparation. I actually wrote a paper about this, and it's all written out, and it has an extensive bibliography included, and there is a bonus appendix that I have videos on. And when this stops, all you have to do is click here, and it takes you out to the paper. I am going to post the link to this paper also when I turn in this project. So this is the end of my presentation. I hope it's been beneficial.